Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's your brother Bolo V and R, and we are here with another one. I want to first invite you guys to go over to Portland Spice TV and go subscribe to the platform Colin Bell Show, where there is so much value in terms of information that is given. Alright, make sure y'all go check it out. Now, in this one, I want to examine an excerpt from that said show in regards to an interview with Ralston Hyman. Now, Ralston Hyman, for me, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes on to our finances and the state of the country, when I seek to get the truth in that regard, Ralston Hyman is one of those persons that I believe has garnered the reputation where he's just not going to sugarcoat this. He's going to give you the raw, unadulterated facts about the matter. So in this one, let us take a listen. Let's go.
Make a playback. The minister. Make a go back to yesterday meeting.
Williams met with the island's trade unions today to discuss headwinds facing the government in the ongoing wage negotiations with public sector employees. The high-level meeting, which was held at the Jamaica Conference Center in downtown Kingston, was addressed by economist Dr. Adrian Stokes and Fiscal Commissioner Courtney Williams. More in this report from Halshane Burke.
The meeting comes on the heels of a controversial recommendation by the Independent Fiscal Commission for the government to consider reintroducing a ceiling on wages and salaries following its latest assessment of the Dr. Andrew Holness administration's fiscal performance. At the meeting, the finance minister and her technocrats sought to clarify the need to anchor public sector wage negotiations within a clear, timely framework to improve budget predictability and fiscal sustainability. The Fiscal Commissioner emphasized the importance of establishing a fixed compensation negotiation cycle, recommending that wage settlements be finalized at least 6 months before the annual budget call, ideally by end of January, to inform the government's budget planning. This cycle, he said, would allow unions to submit claims within 2 months of the compensation call, enabling negotiations to start by April 1 and conclude promptly. IFC highlighted that negotiations currently lag by at least 15 months, creating uncertainty about the wage bill, the largest single budget item. Minister Williams and the IFC stressed that timely settlements protect workers' purchasing power and help the government manage fiscal risks better. The minister argued that the lack of a fixed cycle poses a risk of delayed settlements, overlapping with budget submissions and complicating fiscal planning. At the meeting, the IFC raised the prospect of reintroducing a wage to GDP ratio as a fiscal anchor to maintain sustainable wage growth aligned with economic performance. Data submitted today showed that over the last decade, wages have grown by 180%, while GDP grew by only 97%, indicating wages have outpaced economic growth. The IFC recommended that the government and unions consider a strategic multi-year wage framework similar to Jamaica's debt reduction strategy, which met targets 2 years ahead of schedule. This approach aims to balance fair compensation with fiscal responsibility without setting a fixed percentage immediately. Halshane Burke, Radio Jamaica News.
Pause right there, sir. Pause right there, sir. Rally morning. Rally. We're not here in Ralston. Ralston, morning.
We need your help to save them.
I don't know why we're not here in Ralston. Rally, you hearing me? Hold on there. Why we're not here in this? All right, hold on. Let her reconnect you to the studio. Hold on. Let me reconnect Rally to the studio. I don't know why we're not getting him there, so. But that's hot like fire. All right, Rally, you hearing me now? Hold on.
Yeah, man, what was the question?
All right. So you heard that clip a while ago we played from RGR News Rally. The minister and our technocrats told public sector workers yesterday that they can't give them more than 2%. Why?
Well, that was not our technocrats. That was Courtney Williams, the fiscal commissioner, and Adrian Stokes, one of the men who has been consistently telling the country that the economy was on the right track.
Oh,
but that's very important. So, yeah, man, Adrian Stokes was all and telling the country that the economy is on the right track. So it's kind of surprising.
So, how now, after they told us that the economy was doing so good, we in this position? Raleigh? Hold on, Raleigh, hold on. Bad lead. Raleigh? Yes.
Fiscal commissioner. Another one was Adrian Stokes, one of the economics analysts who were always telling the country that we're on the right track.
Yeah. And now they are saying to public sector workers, 2% is the most we can do. But why is the government in... Huh?
Yeah, that's what they're telling the public sector workers now.
So why is the government in this position?
Well, the fact of the matter is that the economy is not growing. He himself gave it the figures. The wage bill grew by 100% while GDP grew by 97% over the last 10 years. Nominal GDP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they also say to the people that wages have grown, what, 180%?
187%.
And the GDP only grow by what, 90%?
90%. Nominal GDP.
Explain that.
Nominal GDP is GDP before adjustment for inflation.
Right. And that only grew by 90%.
Yeah, while 97, while the wage bill grew by 180%.
Whose fault? Why it not grow?
Well, it must be the government. The government is running the economy. Yeah.
And now they're asking civil servants to pay?
Yeah, but Adrian and all those people, when Nigel Clark was busting the budget in the most unequal way, those people never said anything.
And therefore...
Because it's the busting of the budget by Nigel Clark in the most unequal way that caused the big jump in wages, you know. And most of that money went to the politicians rather than the workers. And Adrian and those people never said anything at that time. They were still cheering on and saying that we're going in the right direction.
But here we are now, Ralston, with even...
Some people want to hear that. Want to hear what Ralston Hyman just said. When they were giving themselves the 300% increase, these said people is talking about us sharing on the government. How is it that the economy, according to them, was going in the right direction, but now they can only afford to give the private sector workers them, I believe he said, somebody can correct me if I've misquoted that, on God green earth they can only get 2%. When the Prime Minister and his cohorts, colleagues, under Nigel Clark and Andrew Honest gave themselves 200 to 300% increase. But you guys chose Jamaica when they chose themselves. Let's continue.
In the most unequal way that caused the big jump in wages, you know. And most of that money went to the politicians rather than the workers. And Adrian and those people never said anything at that time. They were still cheering on and saying that we're going in the right direction.
But here we are now, Ralston, with even the head of the civil servant union is saying that they are not going to take that 2%. And the government need to show them how they are going to grow the economy.
And that is correct. You can't go to the workers and tell them take 2% after you take almost 30%. Yep, and you have to develop a growth strategy. Not only the workers are asking for that, Standard & Poor's are asking for that, and the World Bank asking for that too.
They also say that the government asked them from November to submit their wage bill, their wage proposal. And now the government is waiting until almost November again to say to them that you can't get what you want. Is that the correct way of negotiation?
No.
What we were expecting to join by Lambert Brown. We've been calling him, told me that you'll be on the road just like yourself. We know you're on the road. But we're not getting Lambert because Lambert didn't go to the meeting yesterday. Because Lambert said, what do you think about that?
Yeah, we have to agree with him because what we said, they have been consistently telling the people how great the economy is doing. All the technicians going on the Bank of Jamaica, Wayne Henry, Adrian Stokes, all those people. So we were always telling the people that's not true, and they were saying that we were bad-minded. Now it comes as a shocker to the people to hear that this is the position that we are in. But we were always telling them that. Yep.
And it's not that you were just bad-minded, you were a bad news whore.
Precisely. Yeah, man. So all of the Damian Kings and the Adrian Stokeses and the Richard Bileses and the Wayne Henrys, they were telling the people that everything was on the right track.
Yes.
And that we were bad news whores and all of those things. now S&P and the World Bank and the same people come back and say, no, we're on the wrong track. They don't have any credibility.
The head of the civil servant union also say that the government is not setting any example with the size cabinet that they have named.
Of course, correct. Of course, because you can't name such a big cabinet, yep, and then come and tell the workers that you don't have any money. We said that from day one. That's a bad example. Yep.
So where do we go from here, Raleigh? Where do we go?
Where do we go from here? What happens is that two things: the unions can't go back and tell their workers that they're going to be demotivated. So the workers are going to give the instructions to the unions to stick out, and then the government will have to find a way. And what is going to happen again is that the capital budget, which they are already underspending, and the Prime Minister is accusing the contractors. They might cut it again and we don't get no growth.
I don't even
go around in
it's
going to be a vicious down cycle.
I don't even want you to go there so yet, Raleigh. Because one of the things when you want to ask you now is that how can you pay $32,000 a week for minimum wage, but you can't give civil servant more than 2%? How is that going to work?
No, remember, saying that the government are paying the minimum wage. Them announce it to the people who are running them business are paying that the government are paying.
So, but teachers and nurses and police, doctors and other civil servants do hire people to work in their household.
We told you from day one that it wouldn't be working. It can't work because those people are not going to be able to pay it. So all of those helpers, the 110,000 helpers that we have, most of them are going to be laid off.
So it's 110,000 household helpers we have in Jamaica?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
And but at the next budget, the government said that they are going to increase minimum wage by what? $2,000 or $2,500? $2,500. Can these people that employ that 110 household worker, can they afford that?
Can't afford it, and most of the business people in the private sector so them can't afford it either. So the government have to come sit down with them and discuss it.
Did the government trick the Jamaican people in the election campaign?
Yeah, man, and they bought it hook, line, and sinker. But all of the private sector leaders them say the government can't do that. They have to come talk to them. Yeah.
Hello.
But the big thing about it, Ralston, is that the man them win the election. Them not care now.
Well, the people already get tricked, so they have to live with it. But what will happen is a whole world of industrial relations problem and no growth. Yep, and it will create other social problems. It will turn us more in a police state, and all it will break loose.
Let's go to the capital budget, Ralston.
People need to hear that. The $32,000 a week is not the government have to pay it, so they can always tell them say they're going to raise it. I told you guys people are going to lose their jobs, you know. And you heard what the man said. All of these problems, there will be no growth in the economy. I have been saying this. I have come to the conclusion that the Jamaica Labour Party is the force formed against Jamaica's progress. And I am not apologizing for my conclusion. It's my opinion. And I don't think I'm wrong. I think they are purposefully destroying this country. Oh, and that ties back into the public-private partnership of the prisons. So when you have 110,000 workers, when majority of them is going to be fired by their employees because they cannot pay the $32,000 a week, what is going to happen? Who can run will run and go to other countries. And who cannot run, what is going to happen with them? Tell me. Use your brain. They have families, they have children. Suppose them can't send them children to school. Will that lead their children to more idle time, to be on the road, to get caught up in gangs, to go do something stupid? Is it possible that it might lead people into attempts of crime because they can't find food to eat? Is it possible? So now the public-private partnership in the prisons gets a major profit because of the conditions that were created by the government. Raise their money and how much they get paid, and to hell with everybody else, and then say them are going to raise minimum wage, and then the people them that actually pay them can't pay them. They have to lay them off. No work. Back against the wall. Do you guys see it? Let's continue.
The last time we spoke about the 20 billion that the fiscal commissioner spoke about. Now they come back this week and they talk about another $50 billion that ministries...
Yeah, that was last year.
Right.
The select group of public sector entities never spent 50 billion.
Something about the underspending of the capital budget that my finance minister, sorry, general name again, man. The PMP's finance minister, he raised the question about the underspending of the capital budget. The underspending of the capital budget is a signal that we are not going to get any economic growth. Julian Robinson, my apologies, sir. Right? Sometimes my brain leaking and just have brain fart. Julian Robinson warned, he was very concerned about that. He put out a whole media release about it. So this is going to lead to more capital budget underspending. That's going to lead to no growth, which is going to lead to the people in these industries being frustrated. And here the man says it's going to lead to a police state. I'm going to play it back. Problem in the camp.
Works of industrial relations problem and no growth. Yep, and it will create other social problems. It will turn us more into a police state and all it will break loose.
Let's go to the capital budget, Ralston. It is not just 20 billion. The last time we spoke about the 20 billion that the fiscal commissioner spoke about. Now they come back this week and they talk about another $50 billion that ministries...
Yeah, that was last year.
Right.
The select group of public sector entities never spent 50 billion of their capital budget last year. Central government never spent 20 billion last year. And for the first 4 months of this year, them underspent by 20 billion.
In the next 90 seconds...
No.
For the first 20 billion of their capital budget last year. Central government never spent 20 billion last year. And for the first 4 months of this year, them underspent by 20 billion.
No, that money is money we're supposed to deal with infrastructure that is deteriorating rapidly. What effect that is having on the economy?
Well, the fiscal commissioner don't tell you already. If you don't spend a capital budget, you can't grow. Bring it down to a household. If you don't fix up your house and live in a comfortable situation, you can work harder and become more productive.
So if you don't have a good bed for sleep and you can't rest at night time.
Right. Good bathroom for bathing. So if you bring it to the country now, the road them mash up every time rain come, the place flood out. You can't get for produce, the bridge them packed down, people can't get for move from point A to point B. The hospital services run down, you don't have enough beds, you don't have enough this, you don't have enough that. All those things are the underspending of the capital budget. As the contractors, them tell you, Mr. Mullins tell you, say, anyway, going to the road dig up and it can't fix, because them not get the pay.
So from Nigel was here, his reason for not spending the capital budget was that procurement guidelines are a problem. Now we hear the Prime Minister blaming the contractor. Speak to us about that.
Right. Yes, and the Prime Minister said is the contractors the way the time when them take for the project and how them execute project. But the President of the Master Builders Association, so the Prime Minister tried foolishness. It has to do with the procurement process and the government not paying them. Those are the two problems.
Ralston.
That's not the first time I'm hearing that report. Even when it comes on to what is happening in our healthcare system, I hear that is the issue. The lack of payment to these different companies that supply them with equipment like gloves, bleach, whatever. all the tools that they use in the hospital. That's one of the main things that I have heard why we're having issues in all the ministries. And now when it comes on to our infrastructure, you hear him say what the people are saying from the Master Builders Association, say Prime Minister chat foolishness. Them not pay away. It's no procurement process issue. Or whatever they said it was. Let me play it back. Listen.
The time when them take for the project and how them execute projects. But the president of the Master Builders Association said the Prime Minister chat foolishness. It has to do with the procurement process and the government not paying them. Those are the two problems.
Ralston, does the government really have the cash that they are talking about? All this money?
No, because as Mr. Mullins said, there are significant arrears in the system to the contractors.
So
the man them say a contract where if you get paid in 59 months, it takes 59 days, it takes 500 days.
I heard that interview yesterday morning with yourself and him. And there's and that incurs interest that taxpayers have to pay.
Have to pay. Right. For the contractors who are willing to borrow. Some months say them not borrow. So that is why I'm saying anyway to the project shut down because them stop work, because them not move until them get money.
So Ralston,
so that is why that explains to the public when you go around and you say I will for a road dig up and you say, oh, the road share done. Man say we not get no money.
So all this talk about how much money the government have and when they budget how much $1 billion for the capital budget. Are you saying to us that them not really have the money the country broke?
Them not have the money in some instances, and the other instances is the inefficiency and poor management, as Mr. Mullins said. So Mr. Mullins say, all right, them say, Colin, them give a project, and them say this is the scope of the project. And when they start the project, them change the scope. Yeah? And the different agencies between Water Commission and Works Agency, them have been spinning around all about the place. 3 more, 4 months past, and all of those things. Yeah.
Who is responsible?
Poor planning, poor execution. The government.
And not civil servant?
Nah, man, the government, man.
Because civil servant can't change the scope of the work, right?
No, the minister and the Prime Minister who are on the project and Works Agency. Yeah.
So we're having a serious.
Sorry for cut it so much, but I want to make this point very quickly. So Nigel Clark was paying the IMF debt too fast. But when it comes to projects that have to do with the development of the country, our road infrastructure and everything else, what we're hearing from the master builders is that the procurement process is the problem, and also them not paying them on time. So when a project should be paid for by 60 odd days, it's not paid for and it takes 500 odd days, and that incurs an interest. So that's more strain on our tax dollars, and then the infrastructure is still not fixed, so it only get worse, and then it costs more to fix again. So it's a cycle of destruction. Again, like I said, the JLP is the force formed against Jamaica progress. Pay off the IMF fast, but don't pay the people that are supposed to fix the road them fast. Don't pay them on time. Wow.
For the work, right?
No, the minister and the Prime Minister who are on the project and Works Agency. Yeah.
So we're having a serious problem. Ralston, where you see this economic going in another 2 years from now? And not going 5.
We don't see the growth. Remember, the growth was originally projected at 1%. Without taking into consideration all of the disturbances that are going on internationally and this underspending of the capital budget. Yeah. So we don't see no growth.
You don't
Standard & Poor's don't see it. World Bank don't see it. Yes.
And that's why they are saying to the government that you need to grow.
Yeah, man. Because if you don't grow, you can't pay all of the bills that you have to pay.
And if there were any inkling of growth coming, Standard & Poor, the World Bank, the IMF would have seen it. So they would have saying, continue on that trajectory.
Yeah, man. The man them said the forecast are the lowest for all regions, the regions, Latin America and the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The growth forecast is the lowest of all regions in the world And Jamaica is going at one of the slowest pace in Latin America and the Caribbean.
So, with all that we see, the groundbreaking that we saw taking place, are these some of the projects that the $50 billion have not been spent on?
Yeah, man, as Mr. Mullins said, that was groundbreaking. After the groundbreak, nothing now go on. Nothing go on. Them today was just election con.
Are we in serious trouble, Ralston?
I mean, if we're in serious trouble, brother.
But
it's like the civil servants, them locked down the place, or them now go work, so that make it even slower.
But if the civil servant lock down the place, them will lose their work like what Trump do America, fire federal workers.
Well, our system is not like Trump's system. It's harder for them to do that in Jamaica. Based on the representation of our people in terms of trade unionism. A different thing. In China, lock down one of the people like that.
In the budget.
And as the civil service president said, even if them are going to work, as John Levy and the man said, even if them are going to work and are demotivated, so the service will get poorer. And the service is already not very good.
Will this cause more of our professionals to migrate?
Of course. And if them can't migrate, it will cause more. You get trapped. So the social problems will get greater because Trump will make it harder for them to migrate. If them stay in Jamaica, the social problems will get greater. Yep. Police have got more work to do, and the police are already demotivated because them are part of the thing when I get the pay. So the whole thing, yep. The thing is like the two of the things that come up to bomb.
And let me just say to my listeners and viewers and apologize for the noise in the background. Ralston is at the market getting some produce for the house. So we give thanks for you talking to us while shopping, my brother. But Raleigh, if we don't start seeing growth, and the last time we spoke about growth, I said to you that it can't be growth in 5 years. It got to be growth in 2 years.
It has to be now, man. So all for things have to change. It has to be now. It's demanded 5 years and not 5 years.
We hear the Prime Minister say that they are going to employ a consultant to tell them how to bring the creative industry together with tourism. Is that necessary?
No, because we already know what to do. Them things are just them friend them at the work. We already know what to do. Every day we give them free advice about them things. I'm joking that.
But they're not listening to us.
No.
And as you told Simon yesterday morning that free advice is not valued.
It's not valued. Michael Malley said that, yes. Yep. So what them are do? Them are pay what them friend them to tell them the same thing what I tell them over and over and over.
The Chinese that were building the hospital in Montego Bay, they gone home. What is going to happen with that?
Well, I don't know. They have to go find somebody else to do it.
Have you heard?
All of that have to do with payment.
Have you heard anything from the government, Ralston, as it relates to our trade deficit? As it relates to...
Them just ignore them things about it. No, man.
But how can you ignore stuff like that?
No, you can't. If you want the economy to work, and that is why the economy is not working, because they might ignore them things. The trade figures would indicate to them that the things that them need to do, that them need for fix agriculture, that them need to move fast for energy, that them need to move fast for research and development. The trade figures tell them what to do, but them just ignore it. And people them can keep on depending on remittances and tourism flows and central bank intervention to stabilize the dollar. So them keep on jogging on the spot. So it's like you have your savings and say, I live off of my savings, so I don't have to work. Yep.
Well, I'm on in one of the chat room. I say from 2016 we are talking the same thing, and then they believe we.
That's what I tell you.
But see it come home now because what we are talking about is like a pregnancy viewer.
Yeah, man.
It's not going. Something come.
Something come. The baby have to deliver now.
So who no one believe we? Just wait and see.
Well, somebody would have believed something was wrong with them head because I'm sure them go up on the road every day and see the poor conditions on the road. I'm sure them say, oh, the bridge them can't fix. Try bridge take 4 years before it starts. I'm sure them know about the hospital services. You have to sit up on chair and them thing. I'm sure them know about Cornwall Regional. Them just blind themselves to reality. I'm sure them hear what the World Bank has said. I'm sure them hear what S&P has said. So them just politically blinded.
I'm going to tell you something, Ralston. A lie is easier to believe than the truth, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Easy to believe lies. But Raleigh, if the workers don't get more than that 2%, which we don't see them getting anymore, what do you expect?
Well, we expect them to get the more. If them got work, them only going to pretend to work. Yeah, me expect some industrial relations disputes because people like Lammy and Vincent Morris, them money and other joking. And if them finally settle, the people who just got work and pretend to work. So the weak productivity are going to increase. You know, I'll get an increase in our productivity. I remember every private sector business have to do business with our government. So the whole economy, they talk about productivity and just remain talk. and we are just continue to limp along at 0%, we might end up back in another recession. So we then have to tell another lie again, and just let our go on. Going around in circles. The problem for the road are increased. Police and people are getting more problems because people are trying to find ways to survive, and them give the police kind of carte blanche to do whatever they want to. So even the police themselves, them are pretend for work because them themselves have them family and them not get the correct pay.
What is the
Whoa. So people, you know, so me I go cut it off right there. So wanna go over, go watch the rest of that video over by Colin Bell show, because what is happening right now, ladies and gentlemen? Eh? Look. Put it on the line on your top. See that? Anyway you want, carry. Use it now, try it now. Draw with the mouse, right. Put it on the line. No man, you put it on the red line. It's not on the line. Dry down some more, mommy. Right. That's how you do it. Go on now. Help yourself. Yeah, my mother in there. You can't slow enough. We're fast. Anyway, we are your children. None of us are slow in terms of technology. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry. I have to help out mommy. So, you know, mommy come first. But you see what Ralston Hyman is saying? This is going to be... You're going to see a lot of police get locked up in a prison. You're going to see a lot of regular citizens get locked up in prison. And let me tell you why. If this continues the way it's going and there's no growth, the people are going to find a way to find money. So you notice the youth them a scam Wally, and you see Wally pop them a go to prison. Some of them a get gunned down by the police. Hey, the youth them nowadays, them don't want to hear about no 9 to 5. Because the 9 to 5, them don't see a way how the 9 to 5 can actually propel them into realizing their dreams. So if you continue an economy that is not growing, I know even the civil servant them and public sector workers them is crying out. Like you said, they're going to go to work and they're going to go slow. They're just going to go to work to collect a check. And guess what? The police them know the right or left system. When them say we have a right your ticket or left for money, everybody know where it go. Right or left. That's gonna get worse. The laws them that the JLP has put forth is going to help the police to pressure the people more. No, it's gonna be a cycle of madness. Because imagine the people that go on the road. Anything at all the police them can stop you for, that they can give you a ticket for, is either you're gonna go to court and spend your time in court to go and challenge it, or you're going to pay some heavy fines. Either way, it's going to put pressure on you because you're not making enough money already. And then, in that regard, between the police and the citizen relationship on the road, it's going to burn your pockets either way. So, is either going to pay the police for money if you move and don't get a ticket, or you're going to take the ticket and you're going to pay it, or you're going to go to court, waste time or use your time that you could be using to make money to go to court to challenge the ticket. Either way, it's going to cost you. The system has been set in such a way to create an environment of frustration among the people. The pressure cooker is on, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not that the JLP don't have the solutions. Right? I've been trying to tell you what. Oh, come with it. It's not that they don't have solutions. They have been given free advice. But no, you stop it. You pause it. See there? See what right there? So you can press this. Or you can tap the screen like that.
I did tap the screen.
That's why it paused. When you tap it, pause. I'm saying if you don't carry the cursor right on the line and you carry it in the middle here, so it's going to pause it or play it. So you have to make sure that the cursor, see your finger there? When you go upon it, you say highlight, yeah man, I just do that. Are you that? Alright? So yeah people, this is a video that definitely had to react to because this is something to pay very close attention to. The workers them not getting more than 2%. Wow. What that is 1% of what they gave themselves. I want you guys to understand that they are giving 1% to the workers that they gave themselves. 200 to 300% increase for them, but 2% for the no. We hey man, y'all ain't seen nothing yet, man. Boy, listen, man. God, please intervene, Lord. Please intervene. It's about to get crazy in Jamaica. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Let me know what y'all think.